Hello, guys. It's me. Welcome back. So, last episode, I want to talk about the last video before this one really quick. Uh, in the reaction to Save Your Story, I had actually forgotten to change the upload date that you see right here. There. The upload date, I forgot to change it. The upload date of Save Your Story was actually June 1st. This one is June 15th. And I just wanted to point that out. So, what's up, YouTube? Today we're reacting to Let Me Let Go by Citizen Soldier. Follow the Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to their YouTube, all right there down below me. Without further ado, let's get into it.
If today was my funeral, tell me what would you say? Would you think less of me for ending all of my pain? Cause I'm so sick of trying to explain.
Oh, God, man. Oh, I feel that. Oh my God. That's something that, quite honestly, frequently enters my mind. Just kind of the thought of, if I wasn't here, what would people say? What would they think? How would they feel? And I think that's something that most people who are going through a tough time think about at least once in their life. I think if you do have this sort of feeling inside of you and you're thinking these questions, I think it's happened at least once to even the happiest of people. Now, those people, if they do have those questions, it's usually not a serious thought to them. Usually it's just kind of like a, oh, what if I was dead right now? And then they just kind of never think about it again. But for people who are going through a tough time, um, it's something that they genuinely do think about. I mean, I've had dreams about it before when I was younger, like way younger. I had a dream about me being like a ghost. Actually, I've had multiple now that I think about it. And it's something that you do think about when you're going through a tough time. And this lyric here, because I'm so sick of trying to explain, I've had so many times where I have had to tell like four people the same exact thing. And by the second person, I'm kind of already emotionally exhausted from telling it. And I never want to have to retell it multiple times. Because it's like when you're telling someone of how you're feeling, you kind of sometimes you relive through those emotions and you feel them again, and then you feel that kind of you feel your insides eating at you, and it's just it's such a terrible feeling. So sometimes you just don't want to do explain. And some I last night I was getting frustrated. Um I was getting frustrated at something I was doing, and then someone asked me what was wrong, and I was so frustrated that even thinking about it was genuinely pissing me off. So I was just like, I'm fine. I there's nothing to worry about. But I was genuinely upset. I just couldn't go through explaining it, and it was killing me. So I just couldn't do it. So I know exactly how this feels.
Would you think of me fondly, like a soldier at war, or the coward that could not let you down anymore? Cause lately, this life don't feel worth fighting for.
Ah, dude. It's so. I mean, it's like. I don't want to say people romanticize mental illness, But when you think of like stuff like depression and mental illness, a lot of people say it's like a war, something you're fighting with. And it's sometimes it does truly feel that way. Sometimes it feels like you are in the middle of a battlefield in your own mind. And that's why it's the question of like, would you see me as a soldier fighting the tough fight, or would you just see me as a coward? Because obviously, to people on the inside who are dealing with this, it does feel like you're at war. It does feel like you are this soldier at war. But to the ordinary person that just hears about the aftermath, they don't think about really, like, they'll think about what you were going through, but they won't think about how it feels. So to them, it's like, oh, they really gave up? What a coward, you know? They took the coward's way out. And it's something that people just kind of say without thinking about, but that is something that people don't like to like. That's why some people are just so afraid to talk about what's going on with them, because they're afraid of like, oh, really? You're a coward, you know? This is nothing. You can push through it. It shouldn't be that hard. And that doesn't help anyone at all. But some people do say that song, and some people do feel those feelings because they haven't been through that emotional, like, mental battle that you're going through. So to those people, it just feels like, oh, he was just living his life, and then he wasted it. He gave it up. And some people don't think about how it really feels to be going through this. And sometimes life doesn't feel worth fighting for. Sometimes you're so low that it feels like it would just be better and easier to just give up. And, I mean, trust me, I know the feeling. But, obviously, I'm still here. And if you're watching this, you're still here too. Hopefully. So, we need to keep going. And I know it hurts and it's painful, but we need to keep going. We need to keep fighting. And this song is like what I like to call an understanding song. Those are songs where it's like, if you're not able to describe yourself how you're feeling, you could basically just send this to someone. If someone's like, hey, are you okay? What's wrong? And you're like, I'm not feeling all right. But you can't really get into it because it's hurting you. You could just send that their way and be like, I'm feeling like this right now. And then they listen to it. And sometimes being able to listen to something like this, it helps them understand more what you're going through than if you had just talked about it. And that's why I like to call these understanding songs. Because you hear it and you're like, wow, this is what he's going through. I get it now. You know, some people need that to kind of just shock them into like understanding. And these songs are so powerful. I hope you don't hear that. My brother is whatever. It's such a like it's such a powerful song that even when it's sad, it's understandable. Like, you're able to understand it and you're able to feel through it, and then other people can understand it as well.
If you could feel what I feel, me, my monsters inside, you never tell me I'm selfish for wanting to die. You would let me let go. You would let me let go. You wouldn't judge me for stranded out here on the ledge, knowing that nothing below could be worse than what's in my head. Yeah, you would let me let go, but you'll never know.
this is such. The song is so relatable, and it's so. Like, this is something I wish I had when, I was younger, you know? When I was younger, I was going through a lot of, like, mental stuff, and I wouldn't tell anyone about it. No one really knew. I would only tell, like, my close friends, and that was it. So this is something I really wish I had back then, so that I had a feeling of, like, I guess, understanding that I wasn't alone and that other people felt the way I did. Because obviously you hear it all the time. I mean, I can say I feel how you feel, but honestly, in the end, that might not feel genuine. You might not be able to understand that. But then when you hear something like this, it's only 3.5 minutes, but it's 3.5 minutes of someone basically saying straight to you, I'm going through this too, and I understand. And you do too, obviously, because you're going through it. So we can go through it together. And you can listen to the song over and over and over and over and over, because it's always just there, you know? Stuff like this can be there for you when other people can't. And it was obviously saying, like, if you knew my pain, and if you knew the fight that I was going through, and you knew the demons and monsters that are inside of me, you would let me let go. And you would be able to, I guess, comprehend why I can't take it anymore. And that's something that a lot of people do go through. And sadly, some people don't make it through. And it's honestly a sad thing. But this song overall is just genuinely beautiful. And I love just the music. And it's also, like, soft. And it's so, I guess, it's the softness of it really speaks to you. Because these lyrics can be like, we can have, like, hard drum in the background, electric guitar in there. And then the lyrics can be, like, screamed. They can be screamed out instead of, like, spoken like this. But the thing is, those heavier songs, as much as they're more fun to jam out to, they don't connect as much as a soft song like this. Because with the soft song, all you have is a little bit of guitar in the, guitar in the back. And then you have a few extra instruments that kind of come in every now and then so that you can, like, hear the music. But the way that the lyrics are kind of spoken to you, they really, they speak to you more than if it was just something your head begging to. Now, don't get me wrong, as I've said before, I love metal music. It's probably my favorite genre, but I also love songs like these that you could just listen to. And their softness, you feel it. It speaks to you. And again, that's why I love this band. This band is incredible.
There's a house that's on fire, deep inside of my mind. I've been stuck in the wreckage, I was taught I should hide. There's an open window, smoke is getting high. It's gonna tear me to pieces, being forced to decide. Do I jump like a failure, let it burn me alive? Should I feel guilty for running out of time? If you could feel what I feel, me, my monsters inside, you never tell me I'm selfish.
Now, that whole, like, the house inside of my mind is on fire, and should I jump or should I burn, or do I just run out of time? It's obviously symbolizing the whole jumping like a failure is letting go, uh, ending it all, I guess. But then staying in the house and being burnt alive is the whole continuing to live in this pain, continuing to live in this, like, distress, in this hurt. But you continue to live, which is what people say. They always say, "Oh, you need to keep going, you need to keep going." But if something like this is happening, if the house is on fire, then to keep going means to sit in that fire, to burn, to inhale all that smoke. But then it's saying, should I feel guilty for running out of time? And that's another, like, thing to it, is because it's always a choice of, do you give up or do you keep going? But sometimes those choices aren't easy to decide. And you can sit there for hours, days, weeks, just kind of trying to figure out if it's worth continuing. And for some, it even takes years. But then when they look back on those years, months, weeks, days, hours, they think of it as like wasted time. Because obviously you were just going through life. Most of my, like, middle and high school years, I was going through dark things, and it was hard for me to continue going. And when I look back at those years, I see them as a waste of time, because I could have been making friends, I could have been going out places, I could have, done this, done that. But in the end, it's not wasted time. It's just, it's time between, like, a decision is not wasted. It's just been used on that decision. Now, you can say that that means it's been wasted, but in the end, it's, sometimes you need time. Sometimes when you're at your lowest, if you wait a few days, you start to realize that you've been feeling better and better slowly. Or you realize that you've been feeling the exact same. That time is needed for recovery. That time is truly needed. I mean, if an athlete, like, breaks their leg and they spend 6 months in a hospital, they look at those 6 months as wasted time. But the truth is, those 6 months were needed to recover so that they can get back to where they were, and then maybe even better. So it's not wasted time, it's recovery time. It's time to continue forward.
You would let me let go. You would let me let go. You wouldn't judge me for stranded out here on the ledge, knowing that nothing below could be worse than what's in my head. Yeah, you would let me let go, but you never know my pain or see through this smile. I still fake till it's all too late. All I have to say, if you could feel what I feel, me, my monsters inside, you never tell me I'm selfish for wanting to die. here on the ledge, knowing that nothing below could be worse than what's in my head. Yeah, you would let me let go, but you'll never know.
That whole ending part right there is just, I mean, the whole song is not really about trying to get through something. The whole song is really just like, it's an understanding song, but it's also a song of just, I need my voice to be out there. I need to be heard. And it's not asking for, you know, fixing. It's not asking for help. It's not asking for like suggestions or recommendations on what to do or how to get through it. All it's asking for is someone to listen. It's literally just asking for someone to listen to the music, to hear these words. And I think that's something that some people don't understand, is that if someone wants to talk to you, it's not always because they want an answer. Sometimes they just want their voice to be heard, and that's all they need. Some people just need that, I need you to just shut up, listen to me right now. That's it. Sometimes that's enough to help someone get through negative things they're going through. And I think that people do need to listen more, because, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I go into problem solving mode where it's like, oh, you're not feeling okay? Have you tried this? Can you do that? Maybe this will help, but that's not always what someone wants. It's not always what someone needs. Sometimes people just need to be heard, and that's it. And I wish more people understood that. And obviously, when people are trying to help, it's not because they like, it's not because they're like, oh, I'm not going to listen to you. Obviously, they're trying to do it out of good intentions. Obviously, they're trying to do it out of kindness, out of worry. But sometimes that's just not what people need. This song is so amazing, and it's so beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and till next time. Peace.